Hi, it's Andrea White dropping in today with crucial questions to ask to catapult your profits in your solopreneur business. Elite Business Coaching is a coaching and consulting company that is obsessed with helping solopreneurs to launch and grow their dream businesses with wildly successful marketing and sales while saving time, money, effort, and most important, avoiding detours, dead ends, and potholes. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about how to focus on catapulting your profits throughout your business year. And so one of the things that I always like to suggest is, that you do some, planning at the beginning of the year. You do a little bit of a check in every 30, 45 days, and then you certainly do a mid year check in, and then you look at your entire year to see how successful your business was, as well as the opportunities that you can put into place for the upcoming year. And so today I wanted to share with you a couple of questions to ask yourself as you plan, as you review, as you make plans to be able to increase your profits, your revenue, and your sales throughout the year. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So these questions are questions, they're step by step. It's a pretty clear blueprint for you to follow so that you are always working on the right things in the right time to get the results that you're looking for in your business. So first up, one of the things that's really important especially as a solopreneur, because our time is typically pretty limited. We have a lot to do with a little bit of human resource, perhaps. And so, one of the first things I like to encourage my clients to do is to think about is to not necessarily think in a way of what's wrong and how can I fix it. Rather, you want to really think about reframing that question in a way that says, what's right about this issue? What's right about what's going on in my business? What's right about going on? What's right about what's happening in my marketing, in my sales plan, and my customer growth plan? And so when you look at it from that way, you at least have a starting point, because if it's going right, you basically want to do more of that. Versus when we think about things from the perspective of what's wrong and how can I fix it, it keeps us from looking at what's working and how can I do more of that thing or those actions that are actually taking place. And so in your business, you want to always be thinking about and looking at what's working really well, what's going well. And in order to do that, you have to have a dedicated time to be able to review what's happening in your business. So you want to set your goals at the beginning of the month, the quarter, and for the year, of course. And then, at the end of every month, at the end of every quarter, you want to go back and look at, well, what were my goals and did I meet my goals? And if you met your goals, you also want to look at, well, what helped me to reach those goals? And that's the thing, or those are the things that I want to do more of. So the first question in your blueprint is to ask, what's going right? And then, how to make a plan to do more of what's going right. But in order to be able to ask that question, you do have to have a process in your business for regular review of your goals, etc. And so, a couple of other questions that you want to ask yourself in order to catapult your profits throughout the business year is, as you talk about what is going right, you also want to ask yourself, well, what makes it right? Um, you want to get really specific in terms of, was it, how you generated traffic? Was it that you really focused on a particular sales goal and maybe a particular products or services, each week to be able to hit your sales goal. So not only is it about what went right, but what made it right. And so you want to be able to get really specific about what strategies did you put in place that had really good data that shows that that particular strategy or action in your business brought in, either more new customers, more repeat customers, more sales, bigger brand presence. All of those are different types of goals that you can have in your business. Um, and then the third thing that you want to ask yourself is, what would be ideal? And so, in this particular question, it may require you to get a little creative, which a lot of times solopreneurs and entrepreneurs are usually pretty creative people. So, what would be the absolute ideal strategy or solution for whatever goal it is that you're trying to meet? And so, you want to make sure that your goals are realistic, maybe perhaps based on the types of products and services you have. You want to make sure that your goals are realistic based on the amount of time that you have to give to your business. And very often, as a solopreneur, that ebbs and flows throughout the year based on what's going on. Perhaps if you're working in a full time job, or perhaps if you have children that you're, raising, things that are going on with your children can change throughout the year if they're involved in sports or other activities. And so, in order to not get confused, overwhelmed, or frustrated, it's really important to think about, well, what is ideal for me to be able to accomplish during this period of time? And so you may want to look at your planning, either from a monthly or a quarterly standpoint, because our lives tend to have repetitive cycles. And so, based on what's happening in that cycle of your life, you can set realistic goals. Very often, as solopreneurs, we may get discouraged or wonder, that the first question, and I said is the one that we want to stay away from. Well, why isn't this working? Sometimes, if we have set unrealistic goals, it can cause frustration. It can cause us to actually stop taking action. When really, if we think about what's ideal, for me to be able to make happen during this period of time. And so we've set realistic goals based on what's happening. And in that way, we can stay in action, we can stay positive, we can have, great momentum over and over and over again. So the next question that you want to ask is, what's missing? What's missing that could bring about this ideal situation? And so, again, along with your creativity, you may need to get a little resourceful at this time. What do you need to find, to create, to add, or to invent to reach that ideal situation or circumstance? Do you need a little bit of, temporary help? Virtual assistants and things of that nature don't have to be full time. There could be people that help you with a particular project, or they can help you during a particular season of the year, depending upon maybe what's going on in your personal life. They could be, people that help you, during your busy business season, perhaps during the holidays if you're in the US. And so, what's missing? Do you need a virtual assistant? Is there someone in your family that could help without a lot of hand holding, without a lot of having to go behind and check their work and redo their work? Are there additional products and services that you can begin to provide based on feedback from your customers, things that they are asking for? And so get creative and get resourceful to be able to think about what's missing that could help your ideal situation to become even better. And in that way, that is another question that you can answer to be able to catapult your sales. And then, last but certainly not least, is what will it take to put in what's missing, so you can really bring about that ideal situation. And so, do you need additional funds? Do you need additional collaborations and partnerships? Do you need additional exposure? When you know what is missing, and then you also know what you need to insert what's missing, then there you have a full plan to really be able to fill in all of the spaces in your business to be able to make a positive impact on your profits. So this particular question and the solution requires you to get really busy. What is it going to take to make that particular strategy or situation ideal? In using this whole what's right perspective, it causes sort of a cascade effect where you start with, well, what's right? What is working really well? How can I do more of what is working really well? And then being able to know not only what's right, but specifically what is right, so that exactly what to repeat. That's important. You don't want to repeat, things that didn't necessarily contribute to you meeting your goals or increasing your profits. And then second up, you want to have an idea of what would make your situation even more ideal. So what we're doing is moving towards more profits. We are moving toward, bigger and bigger goals. As we, have more implementation in our business, we have more success in our business. Perhaps things in our personal or career life. It's allowing us more time in our business, or perhaps our business is picking up. And so we want to continue on that track. And so you want to make sure you know what made it right, and how can you do more of that thing or those strategies that made it right. And then you want to think about, well, what's my next ideal step? What's my next ideal goal for growth? And based on what that particular answer is, you want to get creative to figure out, different types of strategies and solutions that would get you to your ideal. And then next up, what's missing in terms of getting to that next ideal spot, that next ideal goal. And then last, you want to make sure that you know what it will take to put in what's missing. And so with that frame of mind, you have a full on um, uh, blueprint to be able to grow year over year over year. And so, depending upon your business, maybe one year it's really all about customer growth. It's all about getting your business out in front of more and more people. We know that for a business to be successful, one of your key marketing activities has to be getting your business in front of new people daily. Without getting your business in front of new people, it's going to be really hard to grow your business. And so as you think about your goals year over year over year, maybe one year it's about growing your customer base. The next year it's about really focusing on sales and profits and revenue. Maybe another year it is about bringing on new products and services. And so as you begin to develop those goals, you want to make sure that you have a blueprint to be able to help you to get there. And so the questions that I've shared with you today will help you to narrow in and focus on those things, to bring them to reality in your business, and to actually have a realistic impact on your bottom line. And so every 30 days, as we work within this framework, as we work within this blueprint, to be able to think about what's right in my business every 30 days, you also want to think about 6 core questions in tandem or in relationship with the whole what's working right perspective. And so those questions include: what action did I take this month to support my business? What action did I take this month to grow my business? What action did I take to improve my effectiveness, especially as a solopreneur? We have to always be looking at our productivity, being effective, being efficient, working on the right things in the right time, in the right way to get to the results and the goals that we're looking for. So hopefully you already have a plan in place to always be looking at how effective and efficient you are as a solopreneur. The fourth question that you want to ask is: what action did I take this month to improve my efficiency? And then what specific results did you create this month through my efforts? So, what specific results have I created this month through my efforts? And then the last question that you want to ask every 30 days is: how can I do better next month? And the answer to that is thinking about maybe a new goal, or perhaps it is starting right where we started this particular video in terms of what went well and how can I do more of that's those specific things that worked really well, and then you repeat and grow and scale them month over month over month. And so it's super important to always be in this posture of reflection in our businesses, but only when we reflect on the right things does it really help and make a difference in our business growth, in our business goals, and to actually get better and better and better, which means we are, we're getting better at being in front of new people. We're getting better at servicing our customers. We're getting better at making sales with clarity and confidence. We're getting better at how to increase our revenue and our profits. And so I hope that you have found these questions to ask yourself very specifically around: how can I catapult my profits month over month over month, year over year over year. This is a great blueprint for you to follow to be able to do that. And so you want to put these questions, and most important, you want to make sure that you have some very concentrated time in your business where you're reflecting, looking at these questions, answering these questions, and then putting a plan of implementation into place so that you can actually meet and hit your goals and thus increase your profits. Okay, so let me know in the comments below what question are you most looking forward to putting into your plan to be able to catapult your profits. I would love to hear some of your plans, or if you have a question about moving forward with catapulting your profits, you can put those in the comments below as well. And then last but not least, if you are, in need of a blueprint, a framework to be able to market and sell your business in 1 hour or less per day for real, you can go to elitebusinesscoaching.org/1 hour marketing and get your download. It is a set of planning sheets that can help you plan your week of marketing and sales on autopilot, at least 1 hour or less per day. So I'm Andrea White. I'm the CEO of Elite Business Coaching, where we are obsessed with helping solopreneurs to launch and grow their businesses with wildly successful marketing and sales while saving time, money, and effort, as well as avoiding detours, dead ends, and potholes. Until next weekend.